Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. Tonight, we are stepping beneath the tall, patient trees into the calm, layered world of forests. Forests cover about 1/3 of Earth's land surface, yet they feel timeless, almost outside of time itself. Long before cities, before roads, before modern travel and global economies, forests shaped climate, culture, and human survival. Even now, in a world of technology and constant movement, forests remain places where the pace of life softens. If you are new here, welcome. If you return often, welcome back. This is a space for calm curiosity, gentle learning, and slow storytelling. If you enjoy relaxing nature facts like these, you may consider liking the video or subscribing, but only if it feels right for you. And if you're comfortable, you can share in the comments where you're listening from, your city, your country, and the time of night or day. Many people enjoy seeing how far this quiet forest reaches around the world. Now, let's begin our journey slowly. A forest is not just a collection of trees. It is a living system, layered both vertically and over time. From the soil beneath your feet to the highest leaves brushing the sky, every level plays a role in supporting biodiversity, climate stability, and even global economies tied to travel, tourism, and natural resources. Scientists estimate that forests are home to more than 80% of terrestrial species of plants, animals, and insects. This incredible density of life exists quietly, often unnoticed, beneath canopies that filter light into soft greens and golds. One of the most calming ideas about forests is that they are constantly working, yet never rushing. Trees grow slowly. Some species add only a few millimeters of wood each year. Ancient forests contain individuals that began growing before modern nations existed, before written history recorded human stories. Forests also act as Earth's natural air conditioners. Through a process called transpiration, trees release water vapor into the atmosphere. This cools the surrounding air, stabilizes regional climates, and even influences rainfall patterns hundreds of kilometers away. In this way, forests quietly support agriculture, cities, and economies far beyond their borders. As you listen, imagine walking along a soft forest path. The ground is layered with leaves, needles, and organic matter that took decades to form. Each step compresses years of slow decomposition and renewal. This forest floor is not empty. It is alive with fungi, microbes, and insects working continuously to recycle nutrients. Forests are often described by ecologists as layered worlds. The emergent layer includes the tallest trees rising above the rest to catch direct sunlight. Below that lies the canopy, a thick ceiling of leaves that captures most of the sun's energy. Beneath the canopy is the understory, where smaller trees and shrubs adapt to lower light. Finally, the forest floor receives only scattered rays, yet supports rich life through decay and renewal. This vertical structure allows forests to support astonishing biodiversity in a relatively small area. Birds nest at different heights. Mammals specialize in specific layers. Insects occupy niches so precise that two species may never compete, despite living only meters apart. Forests also store immense amounts of carbon. Through photosynthesis, trees pull carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and lock it into wood, roots, and soil. This makes forests one of the planet's most important natural tools for regulating climate. Long-term forest conservation has become central to global environmental policy, sustainable tourism, and green economic planning. Yet forests are not only scientific systems, they are cultural landscapes. Across history, forests have inspired mythology, religion, and storytelling. From sacred groves in Europe to ancestral rainforests in Southeast Asia and the Amazon, forests have been places of refuge, mystery, and meaning. In Japan, the practice of forest bathing, known as Shinrin-yoku, is recognized as a health-supporting activity. Research shows that spending time in forests can reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and improve sleep quality. Even listening to forest sounds can have calming effects on the nervous system. Forests also shape water systems. Tree roots stabilize soil, preventing erosion. Forested watersheds filter rainwater naturally, supplying clean drinking water to millions of people worldwide. Many major cities depend on protected forest areas for their water security, blending ecology directly with urban planning and economic stability. As you settle into this calm rhythm, remember that nothing here requires effort. You don't need to memorize facts or stay fully awake. These forest facts are here simply to drift through your mind, like wind through branches. As we continue gently forward, the forest around us begins to change. Not all forests feel the same, even though they share common rhythms of growth, decay, and renewal. Across the planet, forests adapt quietly to latitude, climate, altitude, and time. Near the equator, where sunlight arrives almost evenly throughout the year, tropical rainforests grow dense and tall. These forests are warm, humid, and endlessly layered. Rain falls frequently, sometimes every afternoon, feeding a cycle of growth so rapid that fallen leaves can disappear back into the soil within weeks. Tropical rainforests cover less than 10% of Earth's land surface, yet they contain more than half of all known terrestrial species. A single hectare can host hundreds of tree species, each adapted to slightly different light, soil, and moisture conditions. This biodiversity supports global pharmaceutical research, ecological education, and sustainable tourism economies. In rainforests, trees often grow tall and straight, racing upward to reach sunlight above the canopy. Their roots tend to spread outward rather than downward, forming wide buttresses that stabilize them in thin, nutrient-poor soil. Nutrients circulate quickly here, passing from leaf to insect to soil and back into plant tissue in a continuous loop. As we drift away from the equator toward subtropical regions, forests become more seasonal. Tropical dry forests experience periods of rain followed by months of dryness. During these drier seasons, many trees shed their leaves to conserve water. When rains return, the forest transforms almost overnight, green returning like a deep breath after rest. Farther north and south lie temperate forests, found in places such as Europe, Eastern North America, East Asia, and parts of South America. These forests experience clear seasons with warm summers and cold winters. Trees here often lose their leaves in autumn, creating the familiar rhythm of spring growth, summer fullness, autumn color, and winter rest. Deciduous trees, such as oak, maple, beech, and birch, dominate many temperate forests. Their falling leaves create rich soil, supporting fungi, insects, and microorganisms that drive nutrient cycles. This fertile ground has historically made temperate forests closely tied to agriculture, settlement, and cultural development. Temperate forests also support a wide range of wildlife, from deer and foxes to countless bird species. Many animals here synchronize their life cycles with seasonal changes, breeding in spring and storing energy for winter months. This seasonal rhythm creates a sense of balance that feels deeply calming to many people. As we continue northward, temperatures drop and winters grow longer. Eventually, we reach the boreal forest, also known as the taiga. This vast belt of forest stretches across Canada, Alaska, Scandinavia, and Russia, forming one of the largest terrestrial biomes on Earth. Boreal forests are dominated by evergreen conifers such as spruce, pine, and fir. Their needle-shaped leaves reduce water loss and shed snow easily, allowing them to survive heavy winter conditions. These forests grow more slowly than tropical or temperate forests, but they store immense amounts of carbon in both trees and frozen soils. The boreal forest plays a critical role in global climate regulation. Its dark canopy absorbs sunlight, while its soils lock away carbon accumulated over thousands of years. Changes in these forests can influence global temperatures, atmospheric circulation, and long-term climate stability. Beyond the boreal zone, near the Arctic Circle, forests thin and eventually give way to tundra. Here, trees struggle to grow tall, limited by permafrost and extreme cold. Yet even at this edge of forest life, small stands of trees persist, marking the quiet boundary between forest and open land. Altitude creates similar changes to latitude. As you climb a mountain, forests shift in layers. Lower slopes may host broadleaf forests, while higher elevations transition to conifers. Eventually, trees give way to alpine meadows and bare rock. These vertical forests mirror the planet's horizontal climate zones in a much smaller space. Cloud forests exist in mountainous tropical regions where trees are often wrapped in mist. These forests receive moisture not only from rain, but from fog itself, which condenses on leaves and branches. Mosses, orchids, and ferns thrive here, creating landscapes that feel especially dreamlike and still. Mangrove forests grow along tropical coastlines, where land meets salt water. These forests tolerate salt, shifting tides, and muddy soils. Their tangled roots protect shorelines from erosion, support fisheries, and act as natural buffers against storms. Mangroves are vital to coastal economies, biodiversity, and climate resilience. Despite their differences, all forests share certain traits. They are shaped by slow processes. They depend on cooperation between plants, fungi, animals, and microbes. They respond to disturbance, fire, storms, or insects, not with chaos, but with gradual renewal. Fire, in particular, plays a natural role in many forest ecosystems. Some pine species require heat to open their cones and release seeds. Periodic fires clear undergrowth, recycle nutrients, and maintain ecological balance. In these forests, fire is not destruction, but part of a long story of regeneration. Human societies have always been influenced by nearby forests. Forests provided timber for homes and ships, fuel for warmth, and food for survival. They also shaped trade routes, myths, and even political boundaries. Today, forests continue to influence modern economies through tourism, conservation, and sustainable resource management. As you rest with these thoughts, notice how forests adapt rather than resist. They change shape, species, and pace depending on where they grow. This adaptability is part of their quiet strength. As we move deeper into the forest, our attention drifts downward, away from the canopy, and toward the ground beneath our feet. This is where much of the forest's quiet magic happens, hidden from view, working continuously without sound. Forest soil is not simply dirt. It is a complex living system, built slowly over centuries. Every fallen leaf, twig, and branch becomes part of a long process of transformation. Decomposition is slow, steady, and essential. Without it, forests could not survive. The forest floor is often layered like the forest itself. Beneath that is partially decomposed material, darker and softer. Below this layer sits humus, rich organic matter that holds nutrients and moisture. Deeper still lies mineral soil, formed over thousands of years from weathered rock. This soil stores water like a sponge, releasing it gradually into streams and groundwater. Forested landscapes are some of the most reliable natural water regulators on Earth. This is why so many major cities depend on forested watersheds for clean drinking water and long-term water security. Beneath the soil, roots spread quietly in every direction. Tree roots often extend far beyond the width of their branches, forming vast underground networks. These roots anchor trees against wind and storms, but they also absorb water and nutrients essential for growth. Most trees do not survive alone. They form partnerships with fungi through a relationship known as mycorrhizae. Fine fungal threads attach to tree roots, extending their reach deep into the soil. In exchange for sugars produced by the tree through photosynthesis, fungi provide minerals, water, and protection against disease. This underground fungal network is sometimes called the wood wide web. Through it, trees can share nutrients, send chemical signals, and even support weaker neighbors. Older, well-established trees often transfer resources to younger seedlings growing in shade, helping the forest regenerate naturally. Research has shown that when a tree is attacked by insects, it can release chemical warnings through these underground networks. Nearby trees may respond by increasing their own chemical defenses. This quiet communication happens constantly, unseen and unnoticed, yet vital to forest resilience. Fungi themselves are incredibly diverse. Forests contain thousands of fungal species, many still unknown to science. Some break down tough materials like lignin in wood, allowing nutrients to return to the ecosystem. Others form symbiotic relationships not only with trees, but with mosses and shrubs as well. In addition to fungi, forest soil teems with life. Bacteria, nematodes, mites, springtails, earthworms, and insects all play roles in nutrient cycling. Each organism occupies a specific niche, contributing to the forest's overall balance. Earthworms, where present, mix organic matter into deeper soil layers, improving structure and fertility. Insects shred leaves into smaller pieces, making them easier for microbes to decompose. Even the smallest organisms contribute to processes that sustain entire ecosystems. Forest soil also acts as a major carbon reservoir. Globally, forest soils store more carbon than all the world's vegetation combined. This makes soil health central, not only to forest ecology, but to climate stability and long-term environmental planning. Roots influence soil chemistry as well. They release compounds that alter pH, mobilize nutrients, and shape microbial communities. In this way, trees actively engineer their environment, creating conditions that favor their own survival and that of surrounding plants. Some forests are shaped by nutrient-poor soils, such as those in tropical rainforests. Despite their lush appearance, these soils are often thin and fragile. Most nutrients are stored in living vegetation rather than in the ground. This makes rainforest ecosystems especially sensitive to disturbance. In contrast, temperate forests often sit on deeper, richer soils, allowing for slower nutrient cycles and greater resilience to disruption. Boreal forest soils may be frozen for much of the year, locking away organic matter and slowing decomposition dramatically. These differences influence not only ecology, but human use of forested land. Agriculture, forestry, and land management practices must adapt to local soil conditions. Sustainable forest management depends on understanding these invisible systems. Forests also influence sound in subtle ways. Soft soil and leaf litter absorb noise, creating the muffled quiet many people associate with forest environments. This acoustic calm contributes to the stress-reducing effects of time spent among trees. When rain falls on a forest, much of it never reaches the ground directly. Leaves intercept droplets, allowing water to drip slowly rather than rush downward. This gentle process reduces erosion and protects soil structure. Over time, forests shape entire landscapes through this quiet moderation. The smell of a forest after rain comes from compounds released by soil, bacteria, and plant matter. These natural scents have been shown to influence mood and relaxation, linking forest ecology directly to human well-being. As you rest with these ideas, imagine the unseen world beneath the forest floor continuing its steady work. Roots grow millimeter by millimeter. Fungi expand thread by thread. Soil forms grain by grain. Nothing rushes. Nothing pauses. The forest simply continues. As we gently lift our awareness upward, away from the soil and roots, the forest opens into another world entirely. Above the trunks and branches rises the canopy, a living roof formed by millions of overlapping leaves. This layer filters sunlight, softens wind, and creates a protected environment beneath it. The canopy is one of the most productive parts of any forest. Here, photosynthesis happens on a massive scale. Leaves capture sunlight and convert it into energy, forming the foundation of nearly every forest food web. This quiet chemical process fuels not only trees, but insects, birds, mammals, and even humans who rely on forest products. Different forests form canopies of different shapes. In tropical rainforests, the canopy is dense and continuous, sometimes rising more than 40 meters above the ground. In temperate forests, it may be more open, allowing seasonal light to reach the forest floor. Boreal forests often have narrower canopies, shaped by cold, wind, and snow. Leaves themselves are marvels of natural engineering. Their shapes, sizes, and textures reflect climate and water availability. Broad leaves capture more sunlight in shaded environments. Narrow, needle-like leaves reduce water loss and shed snow easily, helping conifers survive harsh winters. Many trees shed their leaves annually in a process known as deciduousness. By dropping leaves before winter or dry seasons, trees conserve water and avoid damage. Evergreens keep their leaves year-round, coated in waxy layers that protect them from cold and dehydration. The color green comes from chlorophyll, the pigment that captures light energy. In autumn, as chlorophyll breaks down, other pigments become visible, revealing shades of gold, orange, and red. These seasonal changes influence tourism economies around the world, drawing visitors to forested regions famous for fall color displays. The canopy creates microclimates. Temperatures above and below the canopy can differ significantly. The shade beneath keeps the forest floor cooler during hot days, while the canopy traps warmth at night. This stability supports diverse plant and animal life. Many animals live almost entirely within the canopy. Birds nest in branches, feed on insects, and migrate between forests across continents. Squirrels, monkeys, sloths, and tree-dwelling reptiles navigate this elevated world with ease, rarely touching the ground. In tropical forests, some animals never descend at all. Epiphytes, plants that grow on other plants without harming them, thrive in canopy spaces. Orchids, bromeliads, and mosses collect water from rain and mist, forming miniature ecosystems high above the soil. These canopy gardens provide food and shelter for insects, frogs, and small mammals. Some tree frogs lay eggs in water-filled leaves. Certain insects spend their entire lives among branches and flowers that never touch the ground. Light behaves differently in forests. Sunbeams filter through leaves, creating shifting patterns known as sunflex. These brief moments of light are crucial for understory plants that depend on intermittent exposure to grow and flower. Trees respond to light competition by adjusting growth. Branches stretch toward openings. Leaves reposition themselves throughout the day. Over time, forests shape their own architecture, balancing cooperation and competition for sunlight. The canopy also plays a major role in Earth's climate system. Forests absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, storing carbon in wood, leaves, and soil. This natural process helps regulate global temperatures and supports long-term climate stability. Large old trees are especially important carbon stores. Protecting mature forests is increasingly recognized as a cost-effective climate solution, influencing environmental policy, conservation funding, and sustainable tourism strategies worldwide. Rain interacts with canopies in complex ways. Some flows along branches and trunks in slow streams. This redistribution affects soil moisture, plant growth, and groundwater recharge. Wind is softened by the canopy as well. Forests act as natural windbreaks, reducing storm impact and protecting landscapes beyond their borders. This service has economic value in agriculture, infrastructure protection, and land management planning. The sounds of forests originate largely in the canopy. Birdsong, rustling leaves, and insect calls create layered soundscapes. These natural rhythms influence human relaxation and have inspired music, meditation practices, and wellness tourism around the world. At night, the canopy transforms. Nocturnal insects emerge. Owls glide silently between branches. Leaves release stored heat slowly, moderating temperature drops. Even in darkness, the canopy remains active. Scientists study forest canopies using towers, cranes, drones, and satellites. Understanding canopy dynamics helps researchers monitor forest health, biodiversity, and climate impacts at global scales. Technology now allows us to see patterns once hidden far above the forest floor. As you imagine this elevated world, picture layers of leaves moving gently in the breeze. Light shifts, shadows drift. Life continues quietly above and below, connected through roots, trunks, and air. As we gently descend from the leafy heights of the canopy, we arrive in the understory, a calm and shaded layer that exists between the forest floor and the branches above. This space feels hushed and sheltered, shaped by filtered light and softened sounds. It is here that the forest quietly plans its future. The understory receives only a fraction of the sunlight that reaches the canopy. Because of this, plants that grow here are specially adapted to low-light conditions. Their leaves are often broader and thinner, designed to capture every available ray of light that slips through gaps above. Young trees begin their lives in the understory. Saplings wait patiently, sometimes for decades, growing slowly until an older tree falls and creates an opening. When light finally floods in, these young trees accelerate their growth, racing upward toward the canopy. This process is known as gap dynamics, and it helps forests remain diverse and resilient. Rather than growing all at once, trees take turns, creating a constantly renewing landscape. This slow rhythm mirrors long-term economic planning and sustainable resource management practiced by human societies. Shrubs, small trees, and shade-loving plants dominate the understory. Ferns unfurl their delicate fronds here, and flowering plants time their blooms to brief periods of increased light. Often early in spring, before canopy leaves fully emerge. In temperate forests, spring wildflowers take advantage of this window. They bloom quickly, reproduce, and retreat underground before summer shade deepens. These cycles attract seasonal tourism and support pollinator populations essential for agriculture. The understory provides vital habitat for countless animals. Deer browse on tender shoots. Birds forage for insects among leaves and branches. Small mammals find cover from predators, using dense vegetation as natural shelter. Many forest predators rely on the understory for stealth. Foxes, wildcats, and snakes move silently through this layer, blending into shadows. Their presence helps regulate populations and maintain ecological balance. In tropical forests, the understory can be especially rich in biodiversity. Palms, vines, and broadleaf plants form complex structures that support insects, amphibians, and reptiles. This diversity contributes to global scientific research, pharmaceutical discovery, and education. Humidity is often higher in the understory than above. The canopy traps moisture, creating a stable environment that protects delicate plants from temperature extremes. This microclimate also slows water evaporation, helping forests regulate regional water cycles. Vines and climbing plants, known as lianas, are common in understories. Rather than investing energy in thick trunks, they use existing trees for support, directing resources toward rapid growth and reproduction. This strategy reflects efficient resource use, a concept echoed in modern engineering and urban design. The understory plays a key role in nutrient cycling. Fallen leaves and organic debris collect here, gradually decomposing and enriching the soil. Fungi and microorganisms work continuously, breaking down matter and releasing nutrients back into the ecosystem. This quiet recycling supports long-term forest productivity, much like circular economies aim to reduce waste and maximize reuse. Forests perfected this system millions of years before human industries began to study it. Light patterns in the understory change throughout the day. Sunflecks drift across leaves and soil, creating brief moments of warmth and brightness. Plants have evolved to respond quickly to these fleeting opportunities, increasing photosynthesis in short bursts. Sounds are softened here. Wind moves gently. Footsteps become muffled. This acoustic calm is one reason forests are linked to relaxation, mental health benefits, and wellness retreats around the world. Human cultures have long valued the understory. Many medicinal plants grow in shaded forest layers. Traditional knowledge passed through generations identifies which roots, leaves, and barks can heal, nourish, or protect. Modern science continues to study these plants, contributing to pharmaceutical development and global healthcare innovation. Protecting understory biodiversity is not only an environmental goal, but also an investment in future medical discoveries. In managed forests, the understory influences fire behavior. Dense undergrowth can increase fire risk in dry regions, while balanced vegetation helps maintain healthy fire cycles. Understanding this layer supports better land management, safety planning, and climate adaptation strategies. The understory also affects how forests recover from disturbance. After storms, fires, or logging, understory plants stabilize soil, prevent erosion, and create conditions for regeneration. Their resilience helps forests bounce back over time. As evening settles in, the understory becomes more active. Nocturnal animals emerge. Insects hum softly. Leaves release stored moisture, contributing to nighttime humidity. The forest breathes slowly, preparing for another cycle of growth. Imagine standing quietly in this space. Light, dim, air, cool. This is where patience lives in the forest, where growth happens slowly and steadily. Now we arrive at the forest floor, the quiet foundation beneath everything else. This is the layer closest to the earth, where fallen leaves, branches, seeds, and time itself gather softly. Though it may appear still at first glance, the forest floor is one of the most active and essential parts of the entire ecosystem. Sunlight reaches this layer only in fragments. Most of the light has already been filtered through the canopy and the understory, arriving here as a gentle glow rather than a direct beam. Because of this, plants that grow on the forest floor are adapted to patience. Mosses, lichens, fungi, and low-growing herbs thrive in these dim conditions. The forest floor is covered by leaf litter, a natural carpet made of fallen leaves, needles, bark, and organic debris. This layer protects the soil from erosion, extreme temperatures, and moisture loss. It also acts as a slow-release nutrient system, feeding the forest steadily over time. Decomposition is the quiet engine of the forest floor. Fungi, bacteria, insects, and microorganisms work continuously to break down organic material. What once was a towering tree or a bright leaf slowly becomes rich soil. This process supports long-term fertility, much like sustainable agriculture nurtures land for future generations. Fungi play an especially important role here. Underground networks of fungal threads, called mycelium, connect trees and plants beneath the surface. Scientists often describe this system as a wood wide web. Through it, trees can exchange nutrients, water, and even chemical signals. Older, stronger trees sometimes share resources with younger or struggling neighbors. This cooperative behavior challenges the idea that nature is only competitive. Instead, it reflects balance, mutual support, and long-term resilience, principles increasingly valued in modern education and environmental policy. Seeds land on the forest floor every day. Some are carried by wind. Others arrive inside fallen fruit or animal droppings. Many will never sprout, but those that do begin life surrounded by nutrients, moisture, and protection. Animals are deeply connected to this layer. Insects recycle matter. Earthworms aerate soil. Small mammals burrow for shelter. Amphibians depend on the cool, damp environment to survive. Together, they form a living system that supports higher levels of the forest. The forest floor also stores large amounts of carbon. As plants decompose, carbon becomes locked into the soil, helping regulate Earth's climate. Healthy forest floors are therefore critical to climate stability, carbon markets, and long-term environmental planning. In tropical forests, the forest floor looks different. Decomposition happens faster due to warmth and moisture. Leaf litter breaks down quickly, and nutrients are absorbed almost immediately by roots and fungi. This rapid recycling supports incredible biodiversity, but leaves soils vulnerable if forests are removed. Temperate and boreal forests, by contrast, often have thicker layers of leaf litter. Cooler temperatures slow decomposition, allowing organic material to build up over time. These forests store carbon for centuries, making them valuable in global climate strategies. Many familiar forest scents come from the forest floor. The earthy smell after rain, known as petrichor, is created by oils from plants and compounds released by soil bacteria. These scents are often associated with relaxation, grounding, and reduced stress. Human cultures have long interacted with the forest floor. Fallen branches become fuel. Leaf litter enriches gardens. Mushrooms gathered here support local economies, cuisine, and tourism in many regions of the world. Some of the most valuable foods and medicines originate close to the ground. Truffles grow underground, forming partnerships with tree roots. Medicinal herbs and fungi found on forest floors contribute to traditional medicine and modern pharmaceutical research. Footsteps sound different here. Soft, absorbed. This muffled quality contributes to the peaceful atmosphere many people feel when walking through forests. It's one reason forest bathing and nature therapy have gained attention in wellness and mental health fields. The forest floor also records history. Layers of soil and organic matter preserve pollen, seeds, and charcoal from ancient fires. Scientists study these layers to understand past climates, ecosystems, and human activity. This knowledge helps predict future environmental changes. At night, the forest floor comes alive in subtle ways. Bioluminescent fungi glow faintly in some regions. Insects communicate with soft sounds. Moisture rises and temperatures even out. Life continues quietly, unseen but steady. Every towering tree began here, anchored in darkness, fed by decay, supported by countless unseen helpers. The forest floor reminds us that beginnings are often hidden and that quiet processes sustain the most impressive results. As you imagine resting here, surrounded by soft earth and gentle sounds, let your thoughts settle. There is no rush on the forest floor. Everything happens in its own time. As we continue deeper into the calm rhythm of the forest, we now turn our attention to something almost invisible, yet absolutely essential: water. Forests and water are quietly connected in ways that shape landscapes, economies, climates, and even the quality of sleep people experience near wooded areas. When rain falls onto a forest, it does not rush immediately to the ground. Instead, it begins a gentle journey downward. The canopy intercepts much of the rainfall, catching droplets on leaves and branches. Some of this water evaporates back into the atmosphere, cooling the air and regulating local temperatures in a natural process, similar to climate control technology. What passes through the canopy drips slowly into the understory and then onto the forest floor. This gradual movement prevents flooding and erosion. Forests act like natural sponges, absorbing water and releasing it slowly into streams, rivers, and underground aquifers. This slow release is vital for freshwater supplies. Many of the world's major rivers, including those that support agriculture, cities, and tourism economies, begin in forested regions. Healthy forests help ensure clean drinking water for millions of people. Tree roots play a major role in this process. They create channels in the soil that allow water to seep downward instead of running off the surface. This improves groundwater recharge, supporting wells and springs even during dry seasons. In mountainous forest regions, this effect becomes even more pronounced. Snowfall, caught in forest canopies, melts more slowly in spring, reducing sudden floods and extending water availability. This natural regulation supports downstream communities and hydropower infrastructure. Forests also influence rainfall itself. Through a process called transpiration, trees release water vapor from their leaves into the air. In large forest systems, such as the Amazon or Congo Basin, this moisture contributes to cloud formation and rainfall hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away. Scientists sometimes refer to forests as biotic pumps. By moving moisture from land to atmosphere and back again, forests help stabilize regional and global weather patterns. This makes them essential not only for ecology, but also for long-term economic planning and climate resilience. In tropical forests, this water cycle is especially powerful. Daily rainfall and evaporation create a stable, humid environment that supports extreme biodiversity. When forests are removed, rainfall patterns can shift dramatically, affecting agriculture and livelihoods far beyond the cleared area. Temperate forests also moderate water cycles, though more subtly. They reduce storm runoff, protect riverbanks, and filter pollutants before water reaches lakes or oceans. This filtration improves water quality for recreation, fishing, and tourism industries. Wetland forests, such as mangroves and swamp forests, provide additional protection. They absorb storm surges, reduce coastal erosion, and protect inland areas from flooding. These ecosystems are increasingly valued in climate adaptation strategies worldwide. Forests influence not only how much water flows, but how clean it is. Leaf litter and soil microorganisms break down pollutants, excess nutrients, and even some pathogens. This natural purification reduces the need for costly water treatment infrastructure. Many cities around the world invest in forest conservation specifically to protect water supplies. New York City's watershed forests are a well-known example, saving billions of dollars by maintaining natural filtration rather than building additional treatment facilities. Small forest streams often appear clear and gentle, but they are biologically rich. Insects, amphibians, and fish depend on the cool temperatures and steady flows forests provide. These streams support food webs that extend far beyond forest boundaries. Shade from trees keeps water cooler, which is critical for species sensitive to temperature changes. As climates warm, forested waterways act as refuges, preserving biodiversity and supporting sustainable fisheries. Forests also influence how people experience water emotionally. The sound of rain on leaves, the quiet trickle of a stream, the mist rising in early morning. These sensations are strongly associated with calm and relaxation. This is why forest environments are often used in sleep aids, meditation, and wellness retreats. In cultural traditions around the world, forests and water are closely linked. Sacred groves protect springs. Myths describe rivers born from trees. These stories reflect long-standing human understanding of the forest-water connection. At night, forests release stored moisture into the air, softening temperature drops and creating stable microclimates. This contributes to the comfort many animals and people feel when resting near forested areas. When forests are degraded, water systems respond quickly. Streams dry up or flood more intensely. Water quality declines. Soil erodes. These changes highlight how deeply forests are woven into planetary systems. Protecting forests, therefore, protects water security, public health, and economic stability. It is a quiet investment with long-lasting returns, much like education or infrastructure built to serve future generations. As you imagine water moving slowly through leaves, roots, and soil, let your breathing follow the same pace, gentle, unforced, continuous. As the forest continues to breathe around us, we gently shift our focus to one of its most remarkable qualities: biodiversity. Forests are not just collections of trees. They are living networks filled with countless species interacting in slow, delicate balance. Much of this life moves quietly, unseen, yet together it forms one of the most complex systems on Earth. Forests are home to more than 80% of the world's terrestrial plant and animal species. From towering mammals to microscopic fungi, each organism plays a role in maintaining ecological stability. This extraordinary concentration of life makes forests essential not only for nature, but also for science, education, medicine, and global sustainability. In tropical rainforests, biodiversity reaches its peak. A single hectare can contain hundreds of tree species, each supporting insects, birds, and mammals uniquely adapted to that environment. Many species in these forests have yet to be documented, offering ongoing opportunities for scientific discovery and biotechnology research. Temperate forests, though less dense in species, host rich seasonal diversity. Migratory birds arrive in spring, insects emerge in waves, and plants follow carefully timed cycles. These rhythms provide predictable food sources that sustain wildlife year after year. Boreal forests, stretching across northern continents, support fewer species, but over vast areas. Their biodiversity is adapted to long winters and short summers. Animals like lynx, wolves, and owls thrive here, relying on quiet hunting and expansive territories. One of the most overlooked contributors to forest biodiversity is fungi. Beneath the forest floor, vast fungal networks connect trees through mycorrhizal relationships. These underground systems allow trees to exchange nutrients, water, and even chemical signals. Some scientists refer to this network as the wood wide web. Through it, older trees can support younger ones, sharing resources during stress. This cooperation challenges older ideas of forests as purely competitive environments. Insects form another foundational layer of forest biodiversity. Beetles, ants, bees, and butterflies pollinate plants, decompose organic matter, and serve as food for birds and mammals. Their presence supports entire food chains. Even fallen leaves are alive with activity. As leaf litter accumulates on the forest floor, it becomes home to worms, mites, and microorganisms. Together, they break down organic material, returning nutrients to the soil and fueling new growth. Birds contribute to forest health in subtle ways. They disperse seeds, control insect populations, and shape plant communities. The quiet call of a bird at dawn often signals a balanced ecosystem at work. Mammals influence forests through movement and behavior. Grazers shape undergrowth. Predators regulate population sizes. Even small animals like squirrels play a role by burying seeds that later grow into trees. Forest biodiversity also includes countless species of mosses, lichens, and epiphytes. These organisms capture moisture, stabilize surfaces, and provide microhabitats for insects and amphibians. Their presence indicates clean air and stable conditions. Many medicines originate from forest biodiversity. Compounds found in trees, plants, and fungi have led to treatments for cancer, infections, and heart disease. Protecting forests protects future medical discoveries. Cultural traditions around the world reflect deep relationships with forest biodiversity. Indigenous knowledge systems recognize species interactions and seasonal patterns, offering insights now valued by modern ecology and conservation science. Biodiversity also supports forest resilience. When conditions change through climate shifts or disturbances, diverse ecosystems adapt more easily. Multiple species performing similar roles create backup systems that keep forests functioning. This resilience has economic value. Healthy forests support sustainable tourism, non-timber forest products, and long-term resource stability. Biodiversity is not only beautiful. At night, forest biodiversity becomes even more active. Nocturnal insects hum softly. Mammals move quietly through shadows. Fungi glow faintly in rare bioluminescent displays. For humans, simply being near diverse forests has measurable health benefits. Studies show reduced stress, improved sleep, and enhanced cognitive focus. This is one reason forest environments are increasingly incorporated into wellness, travel, and nature-based therapy. The diversity of life also shapes the sounds of the forest. Each species adds its own rhythm, creating a layered soundscape that gently masks urban noise and encourages relaxation. As you imagine this quiet symphony of life, there is no need to focus on every detail. Just let the sense of abundance and balance settle in. As we continue deeper into the quiet rhythm of forest life, we now turn our attention to time. Forests are not fixed places. They are stories unfolding slowly, shaped by decades, centuries, and sometimes millennia. Every forest you have ever seen exists at a particular stage in a long, patient journey. A forest often begins humbly, with seeds settling into soil after disturbance. This disturbance may come from fire, windstorms, floods, or even human activity long ago. Though it may appear destructive, disturbance creates opportunity. Sunlight reaches the ground, nutrients are released, and space opens for new growth. In these early stages, pioneer species arrive first. These are hardy plants adapted to bright sunlight and exposed soil. Grasses, shrubs, and fast-growing trees take root quickly. They stabilize the soil and begin rebuilding organic matter. Young forests are filled with energy. Growth happens rapidly. Leaves capture sunlight efficiently, and roots spread eagerly through the soil. Wildlife begins to return, attracted by fresh vegetation and shelter. As the forest matures, competition increases. Trees grow taller and canopies begin to close. Shade-tolerant species gradually replace sun-loving pioneers. The forest becomes quieter and cooler beneath the growing canopy. This middle-age stage often supports high wildlife activity. Diverse habitats form at different heights, from ground cover to mid-level branches. Birds, insects, and mammals find niches that suit their needs. Over time, growth slows. Trees invest more energy in maintenance than height. Some individuals weaken or die, creating gaps that allow light to return to the forest floor. These small openings restart the cycle on a local scale. In ancient forests, sometimes called old-growth forests, time seems to move differently. Trees may be hundreds or even thousands of years old. Fallen logs remain for decades, slowly decomposing and enriching the soil. Old-growth forests contain immense structural diversity. Standing dead trees, called snags, provide nesting sites for birds and insects. Massive trunks host mosses and fungi. Roots interlock, stabilizing slopes and waterways. These forests store enormous amounts of carbon. Thick trunks and deep soils lock away carbon for centuries, playing a critical role in regulating Earth's climate. Their preservation is closely linked to global environmental stability. Ancient forests are also centers of biodiversity. Species that depend on stable conditions find refuge here. Some organisms exist only in old-growth environments, unable to survive elsewhere. Despite their resilience, ancient forests are sensitive to rapid change. Once disturbed, they take centuries to recover. This is why conservation efforts prioritize protecting remaining old-growth areas. Forests can also exist in transitional states shaped by repeated disturbances. Fire-adapted forests, for example, experience regular, low-intensity burns that clear undergrowth without destroying large trees. These cycles maintain balance and reduce the risk of catastrophic fires. Human-managed forests follow different timelines. Sustainable forestry practices aim to mimic natural cycles, allowing forests to regenerate while supporting economic needs. When carefully managed, these forests can provide timber, jobs, and ecological benefits. Urban forests represent another stage entirely. Trees integrated into cities grow under unique conditions, offering shade, cleaner air, and improved mental well-being. Even small, forested parks contribute meaningfully to human health. Across all stages, forests are constantly adapting. Climate shifts influence species composition. Migration patterns change. New interactions form. The forest's ability to respond depends largely on its diversity and connectivity. From a seed taking root to an ancient tree standing quietly, forests teach patience. Their timelines extend far beyond human lifespans, reminding us that growth does not need to be hurried to be meaningful. As you imagine this long journey, let your thoughts slow down. Like the forest, there is no rush. As the forest continues its slow, steady rhythm, water moves through it just as gently, guided by leaves, roots, and soil. Forests and water are deeply connected, forming one of the most important partnerships on Earth. Together, they shape landscapes, influence climate, and sustain life far beyond the forest's edge. When rain falls on a forest, it does not rush straight to the ground. Leaves and branches catch droplets, softening their descent. Some water evaporates back into the air, cooling the forest and increasing humidity. This gentle process helps regulate local weather patterns. The water that reaches the forest floor is absorbed by layers of leaf litter and rich soil. This natural sponge slows runoff, allowing water to seep gradually into the ground. As a result, forests reduce flooding and protect nearby communities and farmland. Tree roots play a vital role beneath the surface. They create channels through the soil, guiding water downward and preventing erosion. These underground pathways help replenish groundwater, which supplies wells, springs, and rivers long after rain has stopped. Forests act as natural water filters. As water moves through soil and root systems, impurities are removed. Sediment settles, and harmful substances are broken down by by microorganisms. Many cities rely on forested watersheds for clean drinking water. Snow accumulates among trees, melting slowly in spring. This controlled release feeds rivers steadily, preventing sudden floods and ensuring water availability during dry seasons. Cloud forests, found at higher elevations in tropical regions, interact with water in a unique way. Trees capture moisture directly from fog, a process known as cloud stripping. This hidden source of water sustains streams even when rainfall is low. Mangrove forests, growing along tropical coastlines, demonstrate another form of water partnership. Their roots slow tides, reduce storm surge, and protect inland areas from erosion. They also filter pollutants before they reach the ocean. Seasonal forests respond dynamically to rainfall patterns. In monsoon regions, trees synchronize leaf growth and shedding with wet and dry cycles. This rhythm influences river flow, soil moisture, and agricultural productivity. Forests also influence rainfall itself. Through a process called transpiration, trees release water vapor from their leaves into the atmosphere. This moisture contributes to cloud formation and precipitation, sometimes hundreds of kilometers away. Large forest systems, such as the Amazon, play a role in continental-scale water cycles. Moisture generated in one region can travel across entire landscapes, supporting rainfall far beyond the forest's boundaries. When forests are removed, this balance is disrupted. Rain falls faster, erosion increases, and rivers become unpredictable. Floods and droughts grow more extreme, affecting economies, agriculture, and human well-being. Restoring forests helps repair water systems. Reforestation stabilizes soils, rebuilds groundwater reserves, and improves water quality. These benefits often appear quietly over time. Much like the forest itself, urban planners increasingly recognize the value of forested green spaces in managing stormwater. Trees reduce runoff, lower infrastructure costs, and improve resilience to climate change. Forests also shape cultural relationships with water. Many communities hold rivers and springs sacred, understanding their dependence on forest health. Traditional knowledge often reflects generations of observation and care. Even small forest patches contribute to water balance. A stand of trees along a stream can lower water temperatures, protecting fish and aquatic life. Shade reduces evaporation and maintains oxygen levels. As you imagine water moving slowly through a forest, picture droplets lingering on leaves, roots guiding moisture downward, and streams flowing quietly away. This partnership is steady, reliable, and deeply calming. Within the calm embrace of the forest lies an astonishing diversity of life. From the smallest microorganisms hidden in the soil to towering mammals moving silently among the trees. Forests are among the most biologically rich environments on Earth. This abundance exists not in chaos, but in a delicate and balanced harmony. A single hectare of tropical rainforests can contain hundreds of tree species, each adapted to slightly different conditions of light, moisture, and soil. This diversity allows forests to remain resilient, adjusting naturally to changes over time. The forest canopy forms the first layer of life. Here, leaves catch sunlight, fueling photosynthesis that powers the entire ecosystem. Birds, insects, and arboreal mammals share this space, often without ever touching the ground. Below the canopy, the understory thrives in filtered light. Shrubs, young trees, and flowering plants attract pollinators such as bees, butterflies, and birds. Many species rely on these shaded conditions to survive. The forest floor is alive with quiet activity. Decomposers like fungi, bacteria, and insects break down fallen leaves and wood. This process recycles nutrients, enriching the soil and supporting new growth. Fungi form vast underground networks known as mycorrhizal systems. These networks connect trees, allowing them to share water and nutrients. Scientists often describe this as a forest communication system operating silently beneath our feet. Animals play essential roles in maintaining forest health. Herbivores shape plant growth, predators regulate populations, and scavengers recycle organic matter. Each species contributes to balance in its own way. Many forest animals have specialized adaptations. Some insects mimic leaves or bark to avoid predators. Birds develop unique calls that carry through dense vegetation. Mammals evolve climbing abilities or nocturnal habits to reduce competition. Forests are especially important for endemic species, organisms found nowhere else on Earth. Isolated forests, such as those on islands or mountain slopes, often host unique life forms shaped by their specific environments. Seasonal forests experience shifts in biodiversity throughout the year. Migratory birds arrive during certain months, while flowering and fruiting cycles create changing food availability. This rhythm supports a wide range of species. Old-growth forests are particularly valuable for biodiversity. Their complex structure, including fallen logs and hollow trees, provides habitats unavailable in younger forests. These features support rare and specialized organisms. Forest biodiversity also supports human economies. Pollination, pest control, and soil fertility all arise from healthy ecosystems. Many medicines originate from forest plants, highlighting their importance to healthcare and education. Cultural traditions often reflect deep connections to forest life. Indigenous communities have developed extensive knowledge of local species, using plants for food, shelter, and healing. This wisdom is passed quietly through generations. Threats to biodiversity include deforestation, climate change, and habitat fragmentation. When forests are broken into smaller patches, species lose the space and connectivity they need to thrive. Conservation efforts aim to protect large, continuous forest areas and restore degraded landscapes. Wildlife corridors allow animals to move safely, maintaining genetic diversity and ecosystem stability. Even urban forests contribute to biodiversity. Parks and greenbelts provide refuge for birds, insects, and small mammals, offering moments of nature within cities. As you picture this world of life, imagine countless organisms coexisting in gentle balance, each following its own rhythm. The forest does not rush. It allows life to unfold naturally. Forests play a gentle yet powerful role in shaping the planet's climate. Without noise or urgency, they regulate temperature, store carbon, guide rainfall, and soften the extremes of weather that move across continents. Much of this work happens invisibly, woven into daily natural cycles. Trees absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere through photosynthesis. This process stores carbon within trunks, branches, roots, and soil, making forests one of Earth's most important natural carbon sinks. Old forests, in particular, hold vast amounts of stored carbon accumulated over centuries. When forests are healthy, they slow the pace of climate change by reducing greenhouse gases. Even after trees die, fallen wood and soil continue storing carbon for long periods, extending the forest's climate influence beyond a tree's lifetime. Forests also help regulate temperature locally and globally. Shade from the canopy cools the ground, while moisture released from leaves through transpiration cools the air. This natural air conditioning effect can lower temperatures by several degrees, especially during warm seasons. Large forest regions influence rainfall patterns. Moisture released into the air forms clouds that eventually fall as rain, sometimes far from where the moisture originated. The Amazon rainforest, for example, helps supply rainfall to agricultural regions thousands of kilometers away. Mountain forests play a unique role in water regulation. Trees slow snowmelt and rainfall runoff, allowing water to soak into the soil gradually. This steady release supports rivers and reservoirs, benefiting cities, agriculture, and tourism downstream. Forests protect soil from erosion. Roots hold the ground in place, while leaf litter cushions rainfall impact. Without forests, heavy rains can wash soil away, reducing land productivity and increasing flood risks. In coastal regions, mangrove forests act as climate buffers. They reduce storm surge impacts, absorb wave energy, and protect shorelines from erosion. These forests also store significant amounts of carbon in waterlogged soils. Boreal forests, stretching across northern regions, influence global climate through their interaction with snow and sunlight. Dark tree canopies absorb heat, while snow-covered open land reflects sunlight. This balance affects regional temperatures. Forests help moderate extreme weather events. By absorbing rainfall and slowing wind speeds, they reduce the intensity of floods and storms. In drought-prone areas, forested watersheds maintain water availability longer than cleared land. Urban forests provide climate benefits within cities. Trees reduce heat islands, lower energy consumption, and improve air quality. Even small green spaces contribute to local comfort and public health. Climate change, however, also affects forests. Rising temperatures, shifting rainfall patterns, and increased pests place stress on ecosystems. Some forests migrate slowly over time, while others struggle to adapt. Fire plays a complex role in forest-climate relationships. Natural fire cycles can renew ecosystems, but increased fire frequency and intensity threaten forest stability and carbon storage. Reforestation and sustainable forestry practices are increasingly recognized as valuable climate solutions. Restoring degraded forests supports both environmental balance and economic opportunity, including ecotourism and sustainable resource management. Forests remind us that climate regulation does not require machines or engines. It occurs quietly, leaf by leaf, root by root, through processes refined over millions of years. As you rest with this thought, imagine forests breathing with the planet, balancing warmth and moisture in slow, patient cycles. For as long as humans have walked the earth, forests have stood beside them, shaping culture, shelter, food, and imagination. Long before cities rose or roads stretched across continents, forests offered protection, materials, and meaning. Their influence on human history is subtle, but deeply rooted. Early human communities depended on forests for survival. Trees provided wood for fire, tools, shelters, and boats. Bark, leaves, fruits, and roots became food, medicine, and clothing. Forest ecosystems offered diverse resources in one place, allowing early societies to settle rather than constantly migrate. Many of the world's earliest civilizations developed near forested regions. In Europe, dense woodlands surrounded early villages, offering fuel and protection. In Asia, forests supported agriculture by regulating water and enriching soil. In Africa, forest edges became places of trade, hunting, and cultural exchange. Forests shaped travel and exploration. Timber enabled shipbuilding, allowing civilizations to cross oceans and rivers. The age of exploration relied heavily on forest resources, from masts and hulls to barrels and navigation tools made from wood. In medieval Europe, forests were both valuable and controlled. Kings declared royal forests to preserve hunting grounds and timber supplies. Forest laws shaped land ownership and social structure, influencing how people lived and worked. Forests also shaped myths, stories, and beliefs. Across cultures, forests became places of mystery and transformation. Folktales often describe forests as thresholds between the known and the unknown, where characters encounter wisdom, danger, or change. In Japan, forests were seen as sacred spaces. Shinto beliefs honor spirits believed to inhabit trees and groves. Ancient forest preservation around temples helped protect biodiversity long before modern conservation concepts emerged. Indigenous cultures worldwide developed deep knowledge of forest ecosystems. From the Amazon to North America, forest-based societies understood plant cycles, animal behavior, and sustainable harvesting. Their traditions emphasize balance rather than extraction. Forests influenced economies as well. Timber trade supported cities, fueled industrial growth, and shaped global commerce. Forest products such as paper, rubber, spices, and resins became valuable commodities, connecting continents. During the Industrial Revolution, forests faced intense pressure. Expanding industries demanded wood for railways, factories, and urban growth. This period marked one of the largest transformations of forest landscapes. Yet forests also inspired early conservation movements. Writers, artists, and scientists began documenting forest beauty and ecological importance. National parks and protected areas emerged as societies recognized forests' long-term value. Modern forestry reflects lessons from history. Sustainable management balances economic needs with ecosystem health. Forests now support renewable industries, recreation, education, and tourism. Forests continue to shape cultural identity. National symbols, festivals, and local traditions often revolve around trees and woodland landscapes. Even in modern cities, parks echo humanity's ancient connection to forests. As you rest with these thoughts, imagine countless generations walking beneath tree canopies, guided by the same quiet rustle of leaves. As daylight softens and attention drifts inward, forests reveal one of their most gentle gifts: sound. Not noise, not silence, but a living rhythm that moves slowly and without urgency. Forest sounds have surrounded humans for tens of thousands of years, shaping how the nervous system understands safety and rest. The most familiar forest sound is wind moving through leaves. Each tree responds differently. Broad leaves flutter and whisper. Needles sigh softly, and tall trunks creak in low, steady tones. Together, they create a layered soundscape that never repeats itself in exactly the same way. This gentle unpredictability keeps the mind engaged without demanding focus, a perfect balance for relaxation. Birdsong is another defining forest rhythm. In the early morning, birds communicate territory and presence through clear, simple calls. As the day progresses, songs soften. Studies in acoustic ecology show that natural bird sounds can reduce stress hormones and lower heart rate, even when heard through recordings. Insects add subtle texture. The hum of bees, the distant sirring of crickets, and the occasional flutter of wings form a quiet background pulse. These sounds are often rhythmic and cyclical, mirroring breathing patterns and encouraging slower, deeper breaths. Water plays a calming role in many forests. Streams, rainfall, and dripping leaves introduce soft, continuous sounds that mask sudden disturbances. Psychologists call this sound buffering. Flowing water helps the brain relax by smoothing sharp noises that might otherwise trigger alertness. Forests also contain moments of near silence. These pauses are not empty, but spacious. Silence in nature allows the mind to reset, offering relief from constant stimulation. In these moments, people often become aware of their own breathing, heartbeat, and physical presence. Modern research supports what humans have long felt intuitively. Exposure to forest environments has been linked to reduced anxiety, improved mood, and better sleep quality. This effect is often called forest bathing, a practice that originated in Japan and emphasizes slow, mindful immersion in woodland settings. One reason forests are calming lies in visual rhythm. Vertical tree trunks, repeating patterns of branches, and dappled light create visual order without rigidity. The brain recognizes these patterns as familiar and non-threatening, allowing attention to soften. Forests also influence the body chemically. Trees release organic compounds called phytoncides. When inhaled, these compounds have been shown to support immune function and promote relaxation. The forest atmosphere itself becomes part of the calming experience. Sound travels differently in forests than in open spaces. Leaves and bark absorb echoes, preventing harsh reflections. This creates a muffled, intimate, acoustic environment, much like a natural shelter. At night, forest sounds change. Daytime, birds, quiet, replaced by insects and nocturnal animals. The rhythm slows further. These nighttime soundscapes historically signaled to humans that it was time to rest, reinforcing natural sleep cycles. Forests also slow perception of time. Without clocks or screens, attention shifts from schedules to sensations. This shift reduces mental pressure and allows the mind to wander gently, a state closely linked to falling asleep. Even imagined forests can have calming effects. Visualization exercises using forest imagery are often used in therapy and meditation. The brain responds to imagined natural scenes in ways similar to real exposure, lowering stress responses. For people living in cities, forest sounds offer contrast to mechanical noise. Traffic and electronics produce sharp, repetitive frequencies that demand attention. Forest sounds are irregular and layered, allowing the brain to relax its constant scanning. This is why forest recordings are commonly used for sleep, study, and recovery. They provide a sense of presence without narrative, movement without urgency. As you rest with these thoughts, imagine lying beneath tall trees. The air is cool. Leaves move slowly above you. Nothing asks for your attention. Everything moves at its own gentle pace. As we reach the final moments of this journey, forests stand not as distant landscapes, but as living companions to the future of life on Earth. Their role continues quietly, often unnoticed, yet profoundly essential. Forests are among the planet's most effective natural regulators. They store vast amounts of carbon, helping balance the global climate. Through photosynthesis, trees absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, maintaining the breathable atmosphere that supports all complex life. Even as the world changes, forests continue this work without pause. The future of forests is closely tied to how humans choose to live. Sustainable forestry practices now aim to balance economic needs with long-term ecological health. Selective harvesting, replanting, and protection of old-growth forests allow ecosystems to recover and adapt. Technology is increasingly used to understand and protect forests. Satellites monitor deforestation, drones assess canopy health, and data models predict how forests respond to climate shifts. This blend of ancient ecosystems and modern science reflects a growing respect for forests as complex, intelligent systems. Forests also play a crucial role in water security. They regulate rainfall, protect watersheds, and reduce flooding by slowing runoff. Mountain forests, in particular, act as natural reservoirs, releasing water gradually into rivers that support cities, agriculture, and wildlife far downstream. Biodiversity depends deeply on forest futures. Most of the world's terrestrial species live in forest ecosystems. Preserving forests means preserving genetic diversity, resilience, and the delicate relationships that allow ecosystems to adapt over time. Cultural connections to forests continue to evolve. Indigenous communities remain among the strongest forest guardians, carrying knowledge passed through generations. Their approaches emphasize respect, observation, and balance rather than control. Urban forests are also becoming more important. As cities expand, trees provide cooling shade, clean air, and quiet spaces for rest. Green corridors reconnect people with nature, even in densely populated environments. Forests support future economies as well. Ecotourism, sustainable wood products, education, and research offer economic value without destroying ecosystems. These approaches recognize forests as renewable partners rather than expendable resources. Climate change presents challenges, but forests also offer solutions. Restoring degraded forests increases resilience, absorbs carbon, and rebuilds habitats. Reforestation projects around the world demonstrate that forests can recover when given time and care. Forests teach patience. Trees grow slowly. Ecosystems change over decades, not days. This long rhythm contrasts with modern urgency, reminding humans that stability comes from balance rather than speed. On a personal level, forests continue to offer calm. They remain places where people walk slowly, breathe deeply, and reconnect with something steady and enduring. Even brief encounters with trees can lower stress and improve mood. As you prepare to rest, imagine forests long after this moment. Leaves will continue to fall and grow. Roots will hold soil quietly. Animals will move unseen. Forests will keep working, whether watched or not. Their presence reminds us that the planet knows how to care for itself when given space and respect. Let these thoughts settle gently. Nothing more is required of you now. The forest remains, breathing softly, inviting rest. Thank you for spending this quiet time here.